Hey guys, so I decided to film my pre-con thoughts a day early. I was originally going to do it on Thursday, but with the complications I'm having, I'm going to do it today, and then tomorrow when I hopefully get things resolved, do a little update to add to the end of this. So I wanted to have this video ready to be posted for Thursday. So my pre-con thoughts. I actually had to write out a list, and let's be honest, it's because this year I've noticed a lot of problems with staff, and not necessarily specific people, but there's just a lot of confusion going on with the hotel switch, and, sort of kind of last minute, because I'm sure we were all expecting to stay at the embassy, and we didn't end up doing that. We ended up going back to what's now called the Hotel RL. It used to be a different name, and then it was bought out and renovated, and that was the year that we went back. We went to the embassy, and now we're back here at the new Hotel RL. This year they changed a lot of things. I thought possibly for the better. I had hoped for the better, and for most people it was. But for me, I'm just noticing a lot of problems. So we'll get started with my little list here. We're going to start out with the mailed badges theory. So they decided to, this year, mail out badges so that you didn't necessarily have to stand in line Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day you're deciding to come to Nebkon. But, however, it didn't really go the greatest, and here's why. It's kind of spotty. A lot of people didn't get theirs as soon as they had hoped. They promised us that if you pre-registered before or on October 20th, when their pre-registration online ended, that you would get, your badge would be mailed out 2 weeks exactly before con, so that if you were out of state or even in state, not necessarily close to Omaha, that you would have your badge in time. Well, that's not really the case. It is Wednesday before con, and I, who lives here in Omaha, do not have my badge, and I'm a VIP member, and I don't have it. It did not show up in today's mail. They told everybody that the USPS cutoff date was actually today. So if you did not have your badge by today, you were supposed to email them at their register email address and discuss with them picking up your badge there. They're doing replacement badges. Now, being VIP, I wasn't expecting to get a replacement badge because I'll be honest with you, most places don't buy extra VIP badges because you only want a certain amount, and you don't want people to necessarily make copies or somehow steal a whole bunch of them or whatever. So I was actually expecting to have a huge hassle. Now, the staff was actually really nice. The 2 people that I've spoken with have told me to just come in like normal on Thursday evening, although I usually go Friday morning, but this time I'm going Thursday night to pick up my spare replacement. It's not really a spare, but my replacement badge. Sorry, I have a lot of notifications going on with con coming pretty close. So I don't have any experience personally in what my badge looks like. I've seen a lot of photos floating around on group pages and things like that, but I myself do not have it in hand to show it off. But I'll start with some things that I've seen from other people that I'm actually not too thrilled with. They actually mailed them in plain white envelopes. And when I say plain white envelopes, I mean literally plain white envelopes. They mailed it in one of these. It came with your badge, a lanyard, and your letter that explained how excited we were to get to con and when to show up and how things are starting and stuff like that. Plain white envelope. Here's my problem with the white envelope. It's not exactly very sturdy. So a lot of people have been posting photos and complaining that their lanyards, which have the metal clip on the end, have actually torn through the sides of the normal paper envelope. Completely ripped through. So I know that a lot of people weren't pleased with that. And I wouldn't have been either. If I get mine tomorrow, I'm hoping it gets here so I don't have to stand in line. But if it gets here tomorrow and it's all ripped up, I'm really going to be annoyed. Because there are better options out there to mail them. I know they wanted to mail them first class, super cheap, save money. But you could have done like the yellow fold over envelopes. Those are a little thicker. They tend to hold up a little better when you mail things that are not flat inside of them. So I was hoping that they would have done something like that instead. And next year they're actually wanting to mail out t-shirts with them, which means an actual bubble envelope. So maybe it'll go a little better for them next year. This year, I'm not very optimistic. This is going to sound very privileged, and I hate talking like that. I think it's rude, but at the same time, I did pay $125 to be a VIP member and receive VIP perks. Now, while it was not stated as part of a VIP perk that your badge would go out first, I feel like it should have. And I'll explain what I mean by gone out first here in a second. My next point is about timing. But I feel like it should have gone out first and it did not. And as somebody with a last name at the end of the alphabet, it's rather annoying that I paid about $90 more than most of the other pre-reg people, and I still did not get my badge first. I feel like as a VIP that should have become a perk. We get to skip lines, any line for the most part. We get to jump every single line imaginable and just hop up front. And I didn't get that privilege in getting my badge. So not only is it not here, but with the timing, it also did not go out on time. They promised that all badges, absolutely all badges, would go out 2 weeks before con, which should have been, let's see, con starts on the 10th. That means all badges should have been out by the 27th of October. That is exactly 2 weeks from the 10th when con starts at 2:30. The last batch of badges, which I assume mine was in because they went alphabetically when they did them, went out, technically, they stated they went out October 31st. Which you're thinking, it's only a couple days late, right? Well, here's the thing. They didn't go out on the 31st until after the processing part of mail was already finished. They always tell you when you go to the post office that last time they empty the bins and stuff is at like 5, 5:10, 5:30, whatever your specific post office is. These badges were not dropped off until after that time, which means that they did not get processed until the morning of the 1st. So they did not go out into any form of a mail truck, anything like that, until that afternoon at the earliest. Which is a week and a half away from con. And for some places, that's not so bad. Like if you live here, Omaha, Bellevue, Papillion, Ralston, La Vista, anywhere in the local area, that's really not that bad. Usually takes about 3 to 5 days, right? So you're thinking 3 to 5 days. Well, if they went out on the 1st, 3 to 5 days would be business days. Not including Saturdays, because even sometimes Saturdays mail is a little spotty, I found. Should have been Wednesday, today, that I'm filming this video, that you should have gotten your badge, which is the guaranteed time that USPS gave everybody to have your badges by. Which is fine if you're local. I've been seeing people who are out of state that leave today to fly, drive, whatever the case is, to Omaha to come to this convention, and they still do not have their badge. I was speaking to somebody from Michigan. They had to have their badge by noon today because they are driving from Michigan all the way here in Omaha, Nebraska. That's a long drive. My family and I have actually been to Canada and back going through Michigan. That's an all-day drive. We're talking, we left our house at like 6:37 in the morning and didn't get to Michigan until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So that is a drive. and they didn't have their badges in time to leave in order to get here whatever time that they were planning to get here, whether it's Thursday morning or whatever. They didn't have their badges, which means now they have to stand in line, which was completely not the purpose. Like, the whole point of mailing the badges was so that you did not have to stand in line. So you did not. But these people are going to have to come all the way here to Omaha and then stand in line to still get their badge. Which, it's ridiculous. What was the point of pre-registering if I still didn't get it on time? Because most likely the reasoning I didn't get it in time is because you sent them out 3 to 4 days later. So I know that that sounds very personal and frustrating, but for me it is personal and frustrating. Like, I live here in Omaha, where the convention is being held, and I still don't have my badge. Today's the cutoff date, still don't have it. So yeah, I'm a little salty about it, and I'm a little upset. I think that they could have done things better. I think that they could have had everything ready to go in the mail to just send on that date instead of doing it in batches, because I'm sure what they did was get everything ready after the 20th for their first batch that went out probably on the 27th. And then they got everything ready and then sent the next batch out on the 1st. Well, in my opinion, you had a week. The 20th was on a Friday. 27th is a Friday. That's an entire week that you should have been... And I know a lot of these people still work full-time jobs elsewhere. But that's still, you know, a good 3-4 hours every night that you guys could have been working on badges as an entire staff. And I feel like that didn't get done as quickly and efficiently as I feel that it should have been done. Which is saying a lot, because I'm sure there were thousands of badges that went in the mail. I'm sure that there was, because this is a 6,000 to 8,000 person convention every year. So I totally get that that's a ton of people. But they still didn't all get it sent out on time. And so now a lot of us are going to have to wait in line anyway. Sort of defeated the purpose, right? Another thing, they sent them first class. Generally, when you send things first class, you get a shipping, or you get a tracking number when you ship them, because it's classified as a small package. Most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. If you're going to send it like it's a small package, I wish they would have used something like stamps.com or any of those kinds of companies, because I wish that, because you can type in an email address and put it in there and it'll send it to you and tell you your package is on the way. And then I could have tracked it, and then if it got lost in the mail or something, I know who to blame other than Nebkon, because they sent it late or whatever. So I feel like tracking would have been helpful, especially next year if they're going to mail out shirts with them. I feel like tracking should sort of be a no-brainer to an extent. Okay, on to my next big bullet point. Hotel confusion. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, guys. We had some problems with the hotel this year. So something happened with the Embassy Suites yesterday. The staff did not exactly tell us what was going on. But usually we sign as far as I've been told, they sign contracts usually for a couple of years out. That's how we always got the other hotel all the time. I believe something happened with the embassy and they did not want us back. And I believe that they did not want us back because we were a little rowdy and they didn't like it, which is fine. We are a rowdy bunch. We like our stuff and we like to be loud and obnoxious about it. But because of the scramble for a hotel, everything was a month and a half behind. At least a month and a half to 2 months behind. Normally we get an announcement end of January, beginning of February, when where con is going to be at and when tickets go on sale and stuff like that. Like last year I booked everything. I bought tickets at the beginning of March, and I bought the hotel in the middle of March. I rented the hotel room. This year, I didn't get to buy tickets until the middle of March, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I didn't get to do my hotel until April. So they were a little behind because they were scrambling, and I totally get it. When stuff like that comes up and you're not expecting it, things get a little crazy, but because of it, there were a lot of problems. The Hotel RL is new. Well, it's been newly renovated. It's under new ownership. But because of it, that also means that this is one of their more recent seasons of doing conventions. So they had a lot of booking problems within the last week of con. People got bumped from their hotel room and transferred to another hotel. Well, they hoped. Some people didn't get transferred at all. They just didn't have a room anymore within the last week of con. Now, that's out of the control of Nebraskon staff. I totally get it. However, it is a little frustrating when you're all ready to go and now you're worrying about getting packed to make sure you have everything and that everything's finished in time, because a lot of people compete and take this thing very seriously. So for some people, it's even their job. And then all of a sudden, you don't have anywhere to stay. The Hotel RL had some maintenance problems with their rooms because the heaters wouldn't work, which meant that they had booking problems. And I also heard that they overbooked. They never confirmed or anything, but I heard that for Thursday, people who were staying Thursday through the end of con, that they overbooked for Thursday with other people that had already booked at the hotel for other reasons, not convention related. I heard that they overbooked. I don't really have any confirmation of that, but it's still quite a hassle, and I'm sure it was a great stress for anyone. Luckily, I wasn't one of those people, so Brandy and I are all right, but I do feel for those that had that problem, because that's just terrible. Okay, photoshoots and panels. Now, because everything else was late, that meant that submitting things and getting things approved for photoshoots and panels was also included. They were decided a little late, which made planning out what cosplays you're going to wear on what days kind of difficult. Photo shoots actually weren't decided until about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Normally we know about a month and a half ahead. So you can plan and get things ready if you want to attend a specific shoot or anything like that. So it was a little hard to prepare. Like, I didn't have my lineup picked at all because I was waiting on the photo shoot list to come out. And that's because I like to plan things around being in those photo shoots, not because I like to get my picture taken, because that's ridiculous. I don't. That's dreadful. But I like to hang out with people that like the same things as me, so I like to go to the shoots and just see things and talk to people who have the same interests. And then I noticed that staff couldn't decide. It's classified as a panel, but it's actually the opening ceremonies. A lot of people couldn't. A lot of the staff members are not consistent on the time of when opening ceremony starts. So in the panels sheet where everything is written down about what's going on that day, or for all of the days really, we get all of that ahead of time so you can kind of look at things and plan and read and stuff. On that sheet, it says the opening ceremony starts at 2:30. Now, there's a couple staff members that keep walking around telling people that opening ceremonies start at 3. In the past, it was that the doors opened, because it's in a hotel, so you can't really open doors, but the doors opened at 2. And then they gave you half an hour to get into opening ceremonies, get sat down, and then opening ceremony started at 2:30. Well, some of the staff members says it started at 3, so is the reason why it's written as 2:30 in the pamphlet because you get to go in at 2:30, sit down, and then it starts at 3? I don't really know. Either way, I'm going to be there for 2 o'clock because I don't like to be late to things, and if I actually get to go to opening ceremonies this year, because I actually didn't go the last 2 years, that's the plan. Okay, let's talk about some happier stuff. Hopes and dreams for this convention, guys. I'm actually really excited despite the issue with my badge because it's my first year getting out there. I've cosplayed both years that I've attended before. However, I was not very social. This year, somehow, I managed to become a little social butterfly amongst the group. I'm not sure if it's just me stepping out of my shoes or what was going on, but I did it. So I'm actually really, really, really excited to go. They got a lot of great guests coming this year. If anybody out there really likes that show, I think it's pronounced Ruby, the RWBY show, most of our panel guests this year is from Ruby. So if you want to come hang out in Omaha last minute, you can buy a ticket the day of and come check out the guests, get signatures, stuff like that. I am hoping that there's less confusion regarding the VIP skip lines. There were a couple, and they're volunteers, so I understand, and we were very patient with them last year. But they didn't understand that VIPs got to skip the lines. That didn't mean we got to go into anything early per se, but that did mean that we got to stand at the front of the line no matter what time we showed up to stand in line. That included cosplay contest panels, signatures, getting into the dealer's room, anything. That meant that we got bumped automatically to the front of the line, and when those doors opened for us to walk through, we got to be first. And some of the volunteers didn't really understand that, so I'm hoping that the education is out there for everybody, not just for VIPs, on how all of that is running, because it was a little bit of a confusion last year. I'm hoping for a better VIP lunch. I actually have quite the dietary restrictions. And they ask us every year when they're planning the VIP luncheon what you can and can't eat, like what you're allergic to, do you have dietary needs, whatever. And last year I explained to them my dietary needs, and I feel like I got ignored. I can't eat a lot of stuff with carbs, so no bread, no pasta, no nothing. That's actually not a choice. So some people choose to diet that way. I actually have to. For medical reasons. That's just the case. The doctor has actually sat down with me and told me I can't do that anymore. And I've actually been that way for the last 2 years. So I'm hoping for a better VIP lunch, because last year they served pasta and I couldn't eat it. So all I got to eat at my VIP luncheon was the salad. Which even then, I had to be careful about which one I picked up, because they had olives in them, which I'm allergic to. So I'm hoping that they read that a little closer. They do a survey at the end of con every year, and last year that was one of the big things that I mentioned to them, was that they please pay attention more to what the VIPs request when they send out surveys for us as VIPs. There's usually only about 12 of us, and I'm sure everybody has different needs and restrictions and things, but it would have been nice if they had at least had an option that was just meat, because that's basically all I can eat. So I had more hope that they would have had, like, yeah, they had their spaghetti and meatballs, and then they had a chicken option. Well, that chicken option still came with pasta. It would have been nice if, like, one or the other of your meat options was just plain meat, no pasta, no nothing. And that wasn't the case last year. So I'm hoping for something different this year, but we'll see. I've been looking at the schedule. There are some amazing panels and photo shoots coming up. If you're interested in catching me, I will be Rapunzel on Friday. I will be missing the Disney shoot because it's actually on Saturday, but I chose to do Rapunzel on Friday instead. My main focus was something else. So Rapunzel will be around Friday afternoon after I get checked into my hotel, because I like to change in the hotel room. And I will be at the Disney sing-along panel that night. I'm not exactly sure what time. I have some other stuff going on, so I'm hoping to be there most of the time. So we'll see. As for photo shoots, the only photo shoot I'm in this year will be Saturday morning. Fingers crossed anyway. Like I said, I got a lot of medical stuff going on, but fingers crossed that I will be making it to the Sailor Moon photo shoot at 8 o'clock bright and early Saturday morning, because I will be going as Helios. The lovely people who were running the Sailor Moon photo shoot actually rearranged their entire schedules so that they could get pictures with me and Brandy because of the costumes we were wearing this year, which is my main focus. My main focus this year was Helios, and that's why I'm doing him all day Saturday. And then that means that I didn't bring a lot of second cosplays. You see a lot of people that bring like two, like Friday, like Saturdays, they'll do one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Well, I didn't actually do that. I did bring something to wear for the cosplay contest because I'm doing the version of Helios with his horn, and I didn't want to be rude to all the people sitting behind me, as I will get to sit relatively close to the stage with my wig and horn because it is attached. So I will be doing... It's just one of those Vegeta dresses from Dragon Ball Z. It's like his armor outfit, but on a dress. So I'll be doing that with hopefully a black wig. We'll see if I can get it untangled that day. I haven't really been messing with it a whole lot. It was kind of last minute. But anyway, I've seen a lot of interesting panels and shoots. A couple of the ones we're wanting to go to include Voice Acting 101, just for fun, because why not? And then I'm also interested in a lot of the, like, making your cosplays yourself panels, especially a lot of the sewing ones. That's not my strong point, so I'm hoping to get better and learn. And I'm excited for this updated hotel, last but not least, until the little update part about my badge comes in. I'm excited about the hotel being updated. The hotel before had a Zen garden in there. A lot of people liked it. They loved it. They thought it was awesome, especially the bridge and the waterfall. I thought it was a giant hassle and annoying to walk around. The Zen garden took up almost half of the open space of the hotel, which was the hangout space. Wasn't a lot of seating, wasn't a lot of room to move around because the garden literally took up everything. So I've seen pictures of the Hotel RL since it's been updated. They've got some really cool risers that make some great seating in that open area. And included on those risers are plugins and USB charging ports, which sounds awesome, especially when you're running around like crazy. Trying to find an outlet or whatever. It happens a lot more than you would expect at con. That's why I always recommend a really high-powered external hard drive. Charging unit, because that's what I actually take and carry with me. But that's really helpful. They also have a giant chess set. We're talking like giant. The chess pieces are about 2, almost 3 feet tall. I've been told that they're actually removing the chess pieces because they don't want them to get broken at convention, which in my opinion is probably wise. I know a bunch of these people that go to convention, and it's probably for the better that they're not there. But they are doing something cool with the chessboard this year. They're doing an actual anime chess. So it's basically a panel, and you go up and you get to play the pieces as a piece, and somebody sits there and plays chess with you standing there as a piece. Which is kind of a neat concept. I like the idea. I like to be interactive like that. Not that I'll probably go to be in it, but I might go to watch. I don't know how to play chess necessarily. I used to a long time ago, but you know how that goes. So that's cool. I'm excited to see the rooms as well. I've heard that they've changed a lot. I happen to have one of the 2 queen bedroom suites, so I'm hoping that it's actually pretty roomy because I got a lot of friends that want to come hang out and use my hotel room as a little bit of storage space during the day while they're there. So I'm looking to make sure that we've got plenty of room for everybody to do their thing and move around and stuff with. I do have our very first convention baby. That's what we call newbies who are coming for the first time and follow you around everywhere. I used to be Brandy's little convention baby because she had been to the convention before, whereas I had not 2 years ago. And this year we have our very own. So I'm very excited. We're planning to spend most of our time walking around and doing panels and probably in the dealer's room because, let's be honest, we like to spend money. So, and I haven't seen a lot of who's in the dealer's room, so I'm actually excited to get in there and check things out. I know that the kimono people that were there last year are there, so I'm hoping to remember to take my kimono so I can have them show me how to wear it, because I didn't ask last time, so I haven't touched it since. I'm really hoping to get that figured out. Yeah, so let's figure out how to wear that kimono. So, I'm about to hit the half-hour mark, I can see on here. So I am going to hop off real quick. I'll let you guys know how my badge situation goes. I'll attach it as a little edited part of the video at the end to let you know before I post this on Thursday how that all went as well, because I have a feeling I get to go stand in line. So I will post that at the end, let you know what's going on, and fingers crossed, guys, that everything at Nebkon goes smoothly and great, and we all have an amazing, safe time. Safe, keyword. We don't want anything crazy going on that can get people hurt. So otherwise, get hyped, and I'll see you guys this weekend. Okay, guys, it is Thursday morning, and I just wanted to give a little update real quick. I used a service called Informed Delivery from USPS, where they scan all of your mail and then send you an email, or you can check it on the app, of what you're getting every day. And according to my informed delivery, guess what's still not coming? My Nebkon badge. So, unless it was classified as a small package, which does not get scanned, it's not going to be here today either. So guess what that means? This VIP has to go stand in line for a badge that was promised to have been mailed out 2 weeks before Nebkon. So I'm not entirely impressed with this whole mailing system. Fingers crossed it's classified as a small package because it is a little thicker than a normal letter, so it just didn't get scanned and it'll actually be here. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not really optimistic. I'm not the only one that's having the same problem, so I have a feeling that a pretty big chunk got lost in the mail. Anyway, my mail comes in the afternoon, usually about 1:30 to 2 o'clock, and Nebkon's registration desk tonight opens at 6. So all Central Time, in case anybody else is watching this from a different time zone. So I'm hoping that it does actually come and it just doesn't get scanned because it's not flat. I know magazines and stuff don't get scanned into it. I do get magazines and things like that. Those do not get scanned. I'm hoping that it's a thickness thing, and because it's a little thicker than a normal letter, that it just didn't get scanned, but it'll still be here. Fingers crossed. I'll do a video later and add another update to let you know what's going on, but I have a huge inkling that I'm going to have to stand in line. So if you're going to be standing in line at Nebkon tonight, I'll probably be there. Until next time. Okay guys, last update for this video. I have checked the mail and I was correct. Badge did not come. So I get to spend my evening going up to the Hotel RL/Convention Center and get a new one. I'm hoping, because a lot of the pre-registration people obviously already have theirs, because it was really only a small handful for them, of people that didn't get their badges, that the line tonight's actually going to be relatively small. Especially if they break it up into people who've pre-regged and people who have not. Because I know that a lot of people, obviously, that don't have badges, because they weren't sure if they were going to be able to attend or anything like that, are going to need to be picking those up as well. So I'm hoping that tonight it's not too crazy. Brandy's going to go with me. We're going to, I was told by VIP staff that the room should be open today. Later this evening, so we were gonna walk around and just check things out at the convention center and hotel, just to see what's going on, out of curiosity, because they have renovated it and I'm just curious what it looks like. So I will get that taken care of, and then I can start the first day of Nebkon hype video that we do. Brandy and I like to take videos and pictures and things, so I'll be turning that into a little collage of Nebkon and how it goes. So we'll probably start that Thursday night, especially if we're going to be walking around the hotel. That'll probably post Monday as well when I do my other 2 videos, but we'll see. Once again, if you're going to be at Nebkon, I hope to see you there. Till next time.